Previously on Real Life Wednesday.
Welcome to Real Life Wednesday, where real life and faith intersect. Today we have a special edition of Real Life Wednesday. We're just going to go down the line. We're going to ask a question about the Bible and see what Pastor Matt has to say about it while eating increasingly hot wings.
Just a heads up, I'm a baby. I'm already crying.
We'll move on to the next one. So we're moving up to number 4 here. So this is Hoff's. All right. So let's see how this one is. All right, this question is, I feel like more straightforward, more like a regular Real Life Wednesday or a Bible battle. And it's just a piece of scripture from Micah 6, verses 6 through 8. And so I'll read it and then if you can tell us something about it. With what shall I come before the Lord and bow down before the exalted God? Shall I come before him with burnt offerings and calves a year old? Will the Lord be pleased with thousands of rams, with 10,000 rivers of olive oil? Shall I offer my firstborn for my transgression, the fruit of my body for the sin of my soul? He has shown you, O mortal, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you? To act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God.
All right, so the challenge isn't to eat the hot things, but to be somewhat brief, talking about these things. Micah is one of the prophets from the southern kingdom, one of the 48 Jewish prophets in the Old Testament. I won't worry about all that. But a lot of times people say, what should I do? And Jesus sums it up really well in Matthew 22 and Mark 12. Jesus asked 183 questions, and he directly answers 3 of them. Mm-hmm. One of those is when he says, what's the most important law I should follow? Mm-hmm. And he says, love God, love neighbor, more or less. Mm-hmm. And I love that. Just a very simple thing. This is what you want to do. If you want to call yourself a follower of me, mm-hmm. this is what you do. I love that. In the Old Testament, this is that type of moment. Right. Where God says, if you really want to say you're following me, this is what you have to do. He says, "Oh mortal, what is good? What does the Lord require of you?" So again, the strong words. What does He require of you? Mm-hmm. He requires you to be circumcised and all these 613 laws. Well, all these things, yes, but in the Old Testament. Mm-hmm. But here, He boils it all down to act justly, to love mercy, and walk humbly with your Lord. Now, you can't follow Jesus if you don't follow him. I mean, you can't be a follower of Jesus if you don't follow, so walk humbly with him. There's this idea of this great saints walked with God. One of the best things that can be said of anyone is they walked with God. Mm-hmm. And we see it's going all the way back to Enoch and Genesis 7, I believe. 5. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And so we see about acting justly and loving mercy. Sometimes we think about, well, as long as I'm saved, mm-hmm. As long as I'm heaven bound, that's what it is about. And I love heaven. I'm not like anti-heaven at all. Big fan of it. Mm-hmm. But we just don't wait to be zapped. There's this idea that we should act justly and love mercy. About this idea of bringing heaven down to earth. And if we don't do that, we're really not much good for anything in this world. And we say, well, I'm not made for this world. I'm made for the world to come. Yes, but we're called to bring the gospel, to make it real, to make his love real now. Mm-hmm. People say, well, I just want to focus on the gospel. I don't want to care about these other social justice issues. And some people say, I just care about the social justice issues. I want to ignore the gospel. Mm-hmm. They're both wrong. Mm-hmm. We make the gospel real by making his love real. And we make Christ's love real by doing both. So both those are really important. And we see this clear, and you can't do that. Those are all precursors to walking humbly with God.
Right. Okay. Cool. Thank you.